Margot Beaupre. Please welcome the class of 2018. Advisor, Ms. Lauren Skelton.
Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to call up Ms. Temley Seidel to sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hello, everyone. Can you please welcome Caitlin O'Keefe to the stage?
Welcome everyone to the graduation for the Swampscott High School class of 2018. Today is a day to celebrate not only our victories over the past 4 years, but the beginning of a new chapter of our lives as well. Gathering here as a class of unique individuals, we have achieved amazing feats throughout our time in high school. Over these past years of our lives, we have matured, well, at least somewhat matured, and have grown into the people we are now. Our grade has accomplished so many things, from playoff games and competitions to academic successes and helping out in our community. And as we move into a life beyond Swampscott High School, we should never forget these achievements and our attributes that led us to who we are. To everyone graduating today, Swampscott High School will always be a part of us, and we will carry these moments with us for the rest of our lives. While we reflect on our time as high school students, it's valuable to look at both the good and the bad, because we can learn so much from each experience. All of us have matured immensely throughout these past 4 years into incredible people. However, it is important to remember that this is only the beginning of our lives. We have years ahead of us to continue to grow and learn about ourselves and the world around us. For some, the eagerness to graduate and leave Swampscott is overwhelming, and for others, the idea of leaving their home is greatly daunting. However, no matter where you fall on this spectrum, don't forget your roots in this seaside community. As we move on into the future, I hope we can all bring what Swampscott has taught us into our lives. Our class has truly taught me what it means to be determined, passionate, and how to stick together through the ups and, more importantly, the downs. These upcoming years will be filled with new challenges and opportunities, but I am confident to say that each and every one of us will work hard at whatever our future holds for us. As we all face our new obstacles, never forget to hold true to your virtues and who you are, but also allow yourself to discover new things. As J.K. Rowling once said, "It matters not what someone is born, but what they grow to be." We all have the capacity to grow and be the best we can be, but to do that, we have to face our future head-on with courage and enthusiasm. For some, they found themselves in high school, and their future is a way to better the person they are. For many of us, though, we are still learning, growing, and figuring ourselves out. However, standing before me are some of the kindest, brightest, and most talented people I've ever met. I can only anticipate the great successes our classmates will achieve in the near future. Thank you to everyone who has helped us all on our journey throughout high school to get to this point today. With the guidance from our families, friends, teachers, classmates, directors, coaches, advisors, and everyone else who has supported us, we have molded ourselves into young adults ready to take the next step in our lives. I am glad to be a part of this amazing group of individuals all graduating today. Congratulations, everyone. Please welcome the Superintendent of School, Pamela Angelakis.
Good afternoon. Today is a day of well-deserved pomp and circumstance. You've earned it. For today, we celebrate your achievement as you join the distinguished ranks of Swampscott High School alumni. I'm far from an authority on pomp, so I'll focus my brief remarks on circumstance. And I know it's not only the AP English students who will welcome the use of the adjective brief before the noun remarks. The circumstance for which you are being recognized today is the successful completion of a journey that you started 13 years ago as eager, enthusiastic kindergartners, even though there may have been room for some trepidation in those backpacks. We can be reasonably certain that while traveling the road to this stage today, you have encountered joy and sadness, success and failure, fulfillment and frustration, and I'm here to tell you it's only just begun. By now you are aware that meaningful achievement requires investment. You only get out of it what you put in, the adage goes. At the risk of falling into the cliched trap that perils all speeches of this kind, I ask you to keep that in mind as you embark on the journey that starts today. Whatever your next move may be, college, employment, the military, you would do well to be keenly aware that you will be swimming in a talent pool that is chock full of people with comparable skills. That falls under the things you can't control category. What you can control is your investment. How much are you willing to invest in your education, your career, your relationships? In other words, how much are you willing to invest in you? Because unlike the volatility of the stock market, I think you will find that the return on that investment will be eminently predictable and in direct proportion to the effort you have expended, most of the time. But what happens when you've done everything right, put in maximum effort, have totally invested and someone else gets the promotion, or made more playing time, or someday when you're parents, your children do something to exasperate you and make you wonder why they can't be like you were at that age, or maybe why they insist on being like you when you were that age. Those circumstances, when justifiable or not, you feel like you're getting shortchanged require the one trait that I believe is absolutely critical for you to have and to keep in your persona: resilience. It is telling that in the definition of the word resilience appears the word elasticity. You will be faced with obstacles in your life that will stretch you to the limit, and maybe even beyond what you thought was the limit. Resilience is what will give you the will and the strength to bend but not break. Or to relate it to characters that you might recall from your younger days, be like Gumby and not like Humpty Dumpty. As adolescents charging toward adulthood with no mind to retreat, you have surely needed to call on resilience to get to this point. There are a number of calamities that can beset a high school student, from personal tragedy to a promposal gone wrong. You might even equate the two. Getting to this stage on this day indicates you have already demonstrated the ability to be resilient when necessary. and it's a safe bet that you have had some help from parents, teachers, siblings, and friends. Don't forget them, particularly when you have the opportunity to switch roles. If you're lucky, you will always have a strong support group to call on, especially when you're not feeling particularly Gumby-like. Keep in mind, however, that as important as the supporting actors and actresses are, you are the protagonist in your life story and ultimately solely responsible for your character. My wish and my hope and my prayer for you today is that through all of the twists and turns and ups and downs, you may experience nothing but a series of happy endings. Congratulations, good luck, and remember that wherever life takes you, you'll always be part of the Big Blue.
When I was a junior in high school, I had the pleasure of having Mr. Mastronzi as my United States history teacher. In our classroom, he was fun, engaging, and easy to learn from. He not only taught us about history, he taught us about character. He uses authenticity to prepare us for a future ahead of us. It is my pleasure to welcome Mr. Mastronzi to the stage.
When I was told the class of 2018 had chosen me to give the commencement speech this year, I thought to myself, what an incredible honor. I honestly love this class. Then I thought, wow, these students figured out a way to give me homework. Well played. I feel really fortunate to have had the opportunity to get to know so many members of the class of 2018. As a group, they have done an incredible job fostering a sense of kindness, thoughtfulness, and inclusivity in our school community. I want to share a story which illustrates this. In the fall of their junior year, I was teaching a class of 25 of the students who are graduating today. One of them knew that during the summer, I do a little recreational lobstering, and he asked me how the season had been. I said it was fine. I caught and gave away quite a few lobsters, but some of my traps were missing, and I figured someone stole them. I don't think the topic ever came up again. Months later, in December, the day before winter break, a large group of the students in that class came to my room. They told me they had a surprise for me. It was in the back of my pickup truck. They made me cover my eyes and walked me down to the parking lot. Other students joined the procession, students I didn't even teach. Then, when we got to my truck, they said I could look. When I opened my eyes, there in the back of my pickup truck were lobster traps. After a long pause, I finally managed to say, "Oh, so you guys stole my lobster traps." Of course, they hadn't. What they had done is somehow managed to get a hold of some secondhand traps, organized to get them to the school, loaded them into my truck, and arranged this amazing surprise. This speaks to the type of people these young men and women are: thoughtful, kind, considerate. They help make our SHS community amazing. Now, you who are graduating today, you get to leave this amazing community to go out and create and strengthen other communities. You get to make them amazing. I don't remember much about my own high school days, or history days, but I do remember the phase you are all going through right now, and I remember it vividly. The excitement, the anxiety, the anticipation. Around this time of year, several presidential administrations ago, I shared some of my speculations and anticipations on my post-high school life with a teacher of mine. And he told me, whatever you think the next phase will be like, it'll be different. And being the kind of teenager I was, I thought, what does he know? Turns out he knew plenty. He was absolutely right. The reality was nothing like the predictions I had made. It's not like it was better or worse, but it was different. and that's what made it interesting. I've since gone through a number of next phases, going off to college, living in different cities, traveling and living in other countries, becoming a teacher. None of it has turned out to be what I'd expected. It's been far more complex and interesting than anything I was capable of imagining. Each phase has given me the chance to engage with new and disparate communities. But I can also say that few of these experiences have been as fulfilling or inspiring as engaging with the SHS community. Each new phase in your lives will include things you will never predict. You'll interact with new communities in ways you'll never be able to anticipate. Whether your next phase is going to school down the street, in another city, or in another state, or if your next phase is entering into the workforce full-time, whatever it is, here are a few thoughts. First, you will be entering into new communities, school communities, work communities, social communities, and various other overlapping communities. Get involved in those communities. You have much to contribute, and those communities will benefit from your involvement as our SHS community has benefited during your time here. Next, remember that the true judge of any community is how well it treats its least advantaged members: the poor, the lonely, the disenfranchised, the misunderstood, and the marginalized. That is why in history class, it wasn't enough to simply learn about Washington, Lincoln, and Roosevelt. We also had to talk about David Walker, Sitting Bull, Eugene Debs, Alice Paul, Rosa Parks, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the Me Too movement. Sometimes in history class, it can seem like we focus a lot on the negative, what was wrong. But what we're really focusing on are those people and groups who stood up to change what was wrong. I've seen many of you, especially in this past year, take those examples to heart. I hope you will continue your activism and engagement in your new communities. Lastly, know that you get to choose what you take to your new communities. If in high school you were the quiet one, or the weird one, or the jock, or the guy who did knuckleheaded things at parties, that doesn't have to follow you. You can leave that behind and define who you want to be. There's going to be a huge urge in the coming months to share all your new experiences with your current group of friends, and social media will make that so easy. It's not a bad thing, but remember that social media can also make your world small. It can tether you to old relationships and even baggage that don't need to follow you. It can prevent you from feeling the need to make new friends, to interact with your new community. Don't let your world be small. If in 2 years, something amazing or hilarious or beautiful happens to you, and no one at Swampscott High School knows about it, trust me, it still happened. So congratulations, go and do amazing things, and thank you.
Since our freshman year, Kendra has been our standing vice president. Throughout the year, she has been a stellar athlete and scholar who always found time to support our class. She's a student who has great work ethic and passion for everything she does, and will continue to have within her future endeavors. Please welcome Kendra Fitzgerald to the mic.
Good afternoon and welcome, friends, family, teachers, faculty, and most importantly, the class of 2018. First, I would like to say a quick thank you to everyone who has allowed us to get to this point. Our parents, teachers, the faculty at the school, our wonderful class advisor, Ms. Skelton, and of course, ourselves. As many have said in years prior, I can't believe we have finally made it. While that's a cliche, considering the intense case of senioritis some of us faced this year, I honestly can't believe it. However, it is crazy and incredible that this is most likely the last day all of us will be together for the rest of our lives. These are the faces we've seen at Kel's Cream for as long as we can remember, the laughs we've been able to recognize since preschool, the smiles we've known for years. These are the people who live in this small 3-square-mile town. These are the people who come to this town from Boston and Nahant, starting from kindergarten or 7th grade, joining our small community and making it bigger and better. This is our class. We have arguably had one of the most exciting high school experiences together. From countless news appearances of our school to every last one of our 5 and counting principals, we have been through more than most grades. However, even with the chaos, we still managed to accomplish many things together, from championships to competitions to actually successful school dances and everything in between. On another note, I want to leave our class with a few thoughts about high school and our time in Swampscott in general. For some of us, high school was good or even great. Yet for others, we've been looking forward to graduation since our first day of freshman year. Let's be honest with ourselves. Regardless of which group you fall into, you must realize that while high school may have been some of the most important years of our lives, they certainly are not the best 4. We have years ahead of us, years to make new memories, new experiences, time to find out who we really are and what really matters. Whether next year you are going to college, studying a trade, traveling, working, or doing whatever you may be doing, recognize that this is a new chapter in your life and you must make the most of it. We cannot let ourselves be restrained by the borders of our small town. We need to broaden our horizons, explore, and see the world that is bigger and greater than Swampscott. It is important that we let go of the small town mentality and that we allow ourselves to grow and truly become something more. But still, we can't let go of everything. While we must free ourselves of some aspects of Swampscott, we still need to hold on to certain ideas, to how we feel about our little town by the sea. Whether you love Swampscott or not, or you are somewhere in between, the thing is, we all share feelings in common, whether we are moving far away or staying right here. Throughout each of our journeys, we have to remember and hold on to each of these specific feelings, each little bit of our town. We have to remember how it feels when we get the first snowfall of the season, or when the last snowfall is mid-spring. We should remember the first day it's over 70 degrees, and how we rush to the beach and jump in the freezing water, simply because the warm air greets us as we sprint back to the sand. We need to remember the way Boston sits over the water and how it sparkles in the night. We must hold on to every last sunset over the ocean, purple and orange and pink, and how it feels when you're driving down the Neck or the Nahant Causeway, and you notice that you are alone with nothing but the Atlantic and the sky. Wherever we end up in our lives, we must hold on to the Strawberry Festival and the 3rd of July fireworks. We must hold on to the mental map of the North Shore that has become intrinsic, allowing us to mindlessly go around each bend and turn of Swampscott streets. We need to forget about the chaos and the fights and the trivial things that we often hark on. We need to hold on to the beauty and remember what really matters. I began by saying that we will most likely never all be in the same room together again. So look around, take in the faces of your class, decide which memories you'll keep and which you won't. The American writer Richard Bach once said, "Remember where you came from, where you're going, and why you've created this mess you got yourself into in the first place." Life is messy, which actually isn't always a bad thing. So, to the class of 2018, make messes, explore, find yourself, but also remember to take in the aspects of our town you may not have noticed before. And wherever our messes may take us, we need to remember to find the things that make us feel like all those sunsets in the ocean and everything in between. And we need to remember to be happy. Thank you. I would now like to invite Mr. James Pierce and the Swampscott High School Chorus to sing For Good, accompanied by Mr. Eddie Rovey and the Swampscott High School Band.
and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes a sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
It well may be that we may never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my arm. And now, whatever way our stories end, I know you have it written mine by being my friend.
Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a seed dropped by a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you,
because I knew you,
I have been changed for good.
and just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for. Oh,
But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes a sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better. And because I knew you,
because I knew you,
because I knew you, I have been changed for
Since we were young, Tenley Seidel's bright and bubbly personality has always been able to light up a room. Her moxie has given her the opportunity to strive in the chorus room and the classroom. Her willingness to be kind and loving to everyone helped create a positive community here at SHS. Please welcome to the stage Tenley Seidel.
Good afternoon. I stand before you presented with the great honor of addressing our class on the last day that we all sit together. Firstly, I urge you to remember to thank everyone: parents, friends, family, Superintendent Angelakis, teachers and administrators, Ms. Mackey and Mr. Kohut, school committee members, directors, coaches, I need to take a moment to thank my mom and dad, who anyone who knows me knows I love very much. I considered finding a quote for this speech, something snappy and pithy, which would underscore my ideas and sum up this class. Believe me when I say I looked, but no one such quote exists. We are an amalgam of strengths and weaknesses, ties and divides, pride points and flaws. And from it all emerges the class of 2018. But in thinking about what I wanted to say today, there is a phrase that fit. Tikkun olam, a Hebrew phrase meaning repair the world. Although I had heard my parents use it before, I hadn't let it sink in, feel it, and really explore the meaning because as we discussed the state of our world over dinner one night, my parents seemed shocked when I asked what it meant. Repair the world, they said. Now, to be honest, this wasn't the first time I had not listened carefully to something my parents had said. Yet, this particular night, the meaning truly struck me. Repair the world. We're about to leave high school in one of the most polarized times in our nation's history. Campuses are becoming moral battlegrounds for social issues, and the most powerful tool our opposition can use against us is our own apathy. The forces against us are actually counting on our short attention spans surrounding the issues we care most about, but we won't let them win. We must fight apathy with empathy. Empathy is the realization that feeling bad for someone and feeling with someone are two separate things. It is the intersection of kindness and thought, and it is the choice to understand those who are different, find moral understanding, and by extension, provide help to others in need. It's that last part of helping that ties the feeling of empathy to action. I believe we can be the generation of active empathy. I believe our beautiful community surrounding us today has prepared us well for this mission, and I believe we have the capacity to be powerful and smart, and above all else, kind. These are the choices we will make in the coming years. So, find what you believe in. And it's okay if you don't know what you believe in yet. It's okay if what you believe in changes. But find out what you do believe in, and find out why. Become educated, read, explore, and that's the easy part, because then understand those who disagree with you, and don't enter arguments, enter conversations. Practice active empathy. Even outside of advocating for particular social issues, active empathy is also about basic kindness. Extend a hand to people who need it. Don't turn a blind eye to hatred in your community. When you assume others will take care of it, you are allowing prejudice and hatred to win. When you build a divide instead of a conversation, you are eliminating the chance of resolution. And when you turn your back on a fellow human being, well, that's when apathy is won. Among this group, however, I am confident apathy will not prevail. See, each day I walked our hallways smiling, not because I'm crazy, well, maybe that too, but because it has been wonderful to be part of this community. I can honestly say the thing I will remember the most about high school are all of you. I've been observing people practicing some form of active empathy for our 4 years here, and the crazy thing about active empathy is you guys are already practicing it. Sophomore year, when we fundraised for a classmate of ours whose family's business burned down and so many of you turned out to help, you practiced. When you walked the last lap of the mile, then cheered with your friend in gym, you practiced. When you gave a friend $1 for a muffin at lunch, or offered someone a ride, stuck up kindness sticky notes, volunteered at my brother's table, called someone over to sit with you at lunch, or attended an event you knew would be long but would make your friend happy, you practiced. Now, we just have to continue to practice active empathy on a larger scale. How? We need to participate in our democracy, continue marching, continue speaking up for what we believe is right. Right to our Congress members, vote wherever we go. We have more power than we think, and change starts with a spirit of kindness and drive to better our world. We are the leaders. We are the future. And if anyone is going to practice active empathy to repair the world, it's us. Tikkun olam. Thank you.
Okay, Tenley. This year's valedictorian is a model of hard work and dedication to scholarship. Over the past 4 years, he has devoted it to his education, and that work has finally paid off. I would like to welcome our class's valedictorian, Ben Ringler.
Fellow graduates, teachers, administrators, family, and friends, I would like to start simply by saying congratulations and thank you. 4 fantastic years later, and here we are again at the end of one adventure and the start of the next. We are the class of 2018, which makes us among the first classes of students who were raised entirely, or essentially entirely, in the 21st century. So I thought that it would be interesting to take a look back to what the world would have been like for the graduating class of 1918. At this point in time, World War I was coming to a close. Wartime production had boosted the U.S. economy, and in a few short months, the Red Sox would beat the Cubs 4-2 in the 1918 World Series. Things were looking up. At the same time, however, the world the class of 1918 would soon be entering was a rapidly changing one, and the Great War was forcing everyone to seriously think about what the rest of the century would hold. Would the 20th century be one of stability or one of turbulence? Would we live united or separated? Would we have peace or war? The fact that only 20 years later everyone was calling it the First World War can probably clue you into what path the world decided to take. But now here we are, 1 century later, facing the exact same questions. There's no denying that we live in a time of great change, nor can we deny that there's uncertainty about our future. The same can be said for those living in 1918. The world was changing, and nobody was really sure what would happen going forward. What they did know, however, was that whatever the future had for them, they would face it together as a unified America. I'm not sure that I can say the same about today. Something has gone wrong along the way. Over the past few years, we've become wildly polarized and aggressive. No longer do we have the attitude of a unified people. But it does not have to be this way for us. This century has only just begun, and it is time to ask the questions that our great-grandparents once asked. Stability or turbulence? United or separated? Peace or war? We stand here in 2018, poised to have either a century full of boundless creation and technological advancement, or one full of instability and fear. We can make the 21st century into one of the most important periods of growth for humanity, or into one of the most destructive times for humanity. But it's precisely this, what we make it. It is 2018. This century is just beginning as we start our adult lives, which means that this century gets to be what we make it. Stability or turbulence, united or separated, peace or war. It is our turn to decide which path the world takes. We will undoubtedly face challenges as we try and make our course. As I said, the world we live in is a constantly changing place. Understand, however, that challenges simply mean that we are heading in the right direction, that the choice we are making is the right one, that we are not simply making the same mistakes over again. Over the past 4 years, you have all helped cultivate a community full of talent, respect, and above all else, kindness. Every one of you is an incredible individual, and when we work together, we are absolutely unstoppable. You are all some of the brightest and most compassionate people that I have had the pleasure of knowing, and I can truly say that with you at the helm, I do not fear for our future. We will choose right. Thank you. Mrs. Knowles and Mr. Kohut will present the principal's address.
Good afternoon, Superintendent Angelakis, members of the school committee, faculty, staff, parents, guests, and most importantly, the class of 2018. It is an honor to stand before you as assistant principals of Swampscott High School. Since we shared the job of principal for much of this year, we thought it fitting to address you together. We both believe that lists are a powerful and effective way of getting things done, and running a high school is a never-ending to-do list. So, in the spirit of the many lists that we worked through this year, we decided to make a list of the top 5 things we wanted to pass on to you.
Number 1, you can never be too early or too overdressed. First impressions do count. Get there early, whether it's class or work or an appointment. Arrive with enough time to account for life's surprises. As far as dressing goes, Mr. Polacco, could you please stand? That is a sharp-dressed man. Mr. Kohut also leads an example, and Mr. Kalishman. Who can forget when you walk into the building each day that you see Mr. Polacco sporting his fresh shirt and tie? That's a first impression every day, and he makes us smile. You can learn from this. It lets you understand how serious someone takes their job and that they knew that they were a role model for you. Dress for the job you want and arrive early for your interview.
2, be present. As a school administrator, there's a great deal of responsibilities such as student discipline and MCAS and teacher observations and evaluations and lanyards and after-school events and creating the schedule and meetings and more meetings. It's easy for our minds to skip ahead to the next thing, to check the next box on our list. But if you do that, you miss what is happening right in front of you. Take a deep breath and focus on the experience you are having. I'm not saying that you should shirk your responsibilities. I'm suggesting that you tame your mind to simply focus on the present and avoid the temptation to post every moment on Snapchat and Instagram. There's often magic in simply being present. Last week's prom was a wonderful opportunity to be present with you all and enjoy the night.
3, find a career you enjoy. What's your passion? What do you enjoy? What makes you happy? Can you make a living of it? It may seem scary to people in the audience that somebody would choose to spend the rest of their life in high school, but it worked for us. We think we have the best job. We might spend our days chasing down jewelers, but we get to spend our night at prom, dancing with the staff, chorus and band concerts, art shows, championship hockey games. We enjoyed many days at SHS, those promposals, the chorus serenading us in the atrium, pep rallies, the Addams Family musical, relaxing in the sun at the senior cookout, and watching you take on causes that were important to you. That's our job. Most importantly, we're very happy to be here with you today at graduation. The point is, find a path in life that allows you to have a job where you don't feel like you're working because you love it so much.
4, expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected is a well-worn cliche. However, it's also one of life's few certainties. For example, this year I began as an English teacher and now stand before you delivering the principal's address. That was not supposed to be funny. In September, Ms. Mackey was working with Mr. Kowalski and Mr. Murphy as a part-time vice principal and part-time director of technology. Who knew that we would end up running SHS? Who could have expected this? Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why can bear almost any how. Find your why and the how will follow." We made it work because we kept a focus on what truly matters. You matter, people matter, and running a high school matters because we are growing adults who are going on to repair the world.
5, along those lines of people mattering, relationships matter. When you reflect back on any experience in life, you'll remember the people. Most of what you do in life will revolve around the relationships you build with other people. When Mr. Kohut and I sat and reflected on the best moments of running a high school, it came down to the people who work here, the students who attend SHS. Having positive relationships with the staff made it easier to do our job. They supported us through tough decisions, long hours, long weeks, when there were 2 of us doing the jobs of 4 people. But what we have learned, especially over the past 4 years with the class of 2018 at Swampscott High School, is that this community, the faculty, the staff, the families, the students, can get through anything together. Take the time to build and nurture the relationships with the people in your life, at work, at home, at college, with new friends, with old friends. That support system will be invaluable to you.
Thanks for a great 4 years, class of 2018. We'll miss you.
We'll miss you.
We would like to take this opportunity to thank the many individuals and organizations for their generous contributions to the scholarship program at Swampscott High School. We will begin with the 3 new scholarships for 2018 and follow with the remaining scholarships in alphabetical order. Now I'll ask the student receiving the scholarship to stand. The Neil Rostoff Memorial Scholarship, Sophie Stern. The Swampscott High School Class of 1967 Scholarship, Mia Hopkins. Swampscott Kearsarge number 217 Odd Fellow Scholarship, Samantha Conti. Alice T. and Margaret E. Durgan Memorial Scholarship, Patrick Doucette. Bertrand G. Roger Memorial Scholarship, Khalil Palmer. Big Blue Hockey Blue Line Club Scholarship, Jack Posca. Brian Bradley Bates Memorial Scholarship, Mac Midland. Carolyn B. Hayes Memorial Scholarship, Pat Doucette. The Cassidy Family Memorial Scholarship in memory of Judith A. Cassidy and Francis J. Cassidy. There are 2 recipients, Riley Lord and Sidney Faulkner. The Clark School PTO Scholarship. There are 2 recipients, Anna Conti and Samantha Conti. The Coach Cerrone Memorial Scholarship, Stephen Santinello. The Coach Dembowski Scholarship, Mac Midland. The Darlene Pye Memorial Scholarship, Lily Sandfie. The David Sherman Rotary Scholarship, Emily Sheard. The Edward I. Shub Memorial Scholarship, Liad Zafrani. The Ellen K. Goldberg Memorial Scholarship, Julia Rapasarda. The Faye Gerstmann Rostoff Scholarship, Julia Serino. The Ferris J. Bargut III Memorial Scholarship, Anna Conti. For the Love of Swampscott Scholarship, Will Frazier. The Frank M. O'Donnell Memorial Scholarship, Emily Guiney. The Gerald Brenner Memorial Scholarship, Erica O'Brien. The Glenn S. Peterson Memorial Hockey Scholarship, Jack Posca. The Glenn S. Peterson Memorial Scholarship, Ben Ringler. The Hegarty Brothers Memorial Scholarship, Ellie Cohen. the Hennessy Family Scholarship, Khalil Palmer. The Jamie Moore and Ruthie Pastor Memorial Scholarship, Tenley Seidel. The James A. Remus Memorial Scholarship, Ethan Friedman. The James H. Dunn Memorial Scholarship, Olivia Barton. The Jeff Hagan Memorial Scholarship, Stephen Santinello. The Johnson Family Memorial Fund Scholarship, Jonathan Resnick. The Kristen Engstrom and Keelan Gorman Memorial Scholarship, Evan Lipman. The Lillian M. Bassett Memorial Scholarship. There are 2 recipients, Stephen Tumagian and Riley Lord. The Mark Abbott Weiner Memorial Scholarship, Kylie Pierce. The Marguerite Danahy Memorial Scholarship, Amanda Gambale. The Marianne Callahan DeMott Memorial Scholarship, Tenley Seidel. The Matthew J. Kamen Rainbow Memorial Scholarship, Brian Strothman. The Maureen Ingram Memorial Scholarship, Jonathan Resnick. The Mike Cheever Scholarship Fund, Thomas O'Keefe. The Norden Family Scholarship, there are 2 recipients, Margaret Bigler and Rita LaPlante. The Paradise Gym and Fitness Scholarship, Noah Carrero. The Paradiso Restaurante Scholarship, Michael Smith. The Paul Webster Memorial Scholarship, Spencer Perkins. The Rocco Lasano Memorial Scholarship, Jonathan Resnick. The Sagan Harborside Sotheby's International Realty Scholarship, formerly the Sagan Realtor Scholarship for Excellence, Grace Pedes. The Sally and Irving Kaplan Memorial Scholarship, Fatima Sidibe. The Swampscott High School Band Association Scholarship, Colin McCrae. The Swampscott High School Chorus Scholarship, Margaret Bigler. The Swampscott High School Class of 1966 Scholarship, there are 2 recipients, Tenley Seidel and Emma Benevento. Swampscott High School Class of 1982, Jason Elkin Memorial Scholarship, Will Frazier. The Swampscott High School Class of 2003 Scholarship, Tristan Riensterna. The Swampscott High School Drama Club Scholarship, Tenley Seidel. The Swampscott High School Senior Girls Flag Football Scholarship, there are 2 recipients, Hannah Mariklein and Ocean Crawley Sweeney. The Swampscott High School Student Council Scholarship, Caitlin O'Keefe. The Sippy and Julie Carger Memorial Scholarship, Stephen Tumagian. The Specialist Justin K. Moore's Memorial Scholarship, Luana Dos Santos. The Stephen Santinello Memorial Scholarship, Noah Carrero. The Swampscott Arts Association in memory of Marianne Main, John Martin. The Swampscott Education Association Scholarship, there are 2 recipients, Erica O'Brien and Julia Rapasarda. The Swampscott Firefighters Union 1459 Scholarship, there are 2 recipients, Jordan Cox and Ashley LeBlanc. The Swampscott Gridiron Club Scholarship, there are 3 recipients, Colin Walsh, Dominic Cottaspati, and Emma Benevento. The Swampscott High School PTF Scholarship, there are 2 recipients, Claudia Mazaregos and Harry Wales. The Swampscott Patrons of Performing Students Scholarship in memory of Phyllis J. Gottlieb, Liam O'Brien. The Swampscott Police Relief Association Scholarship, Kylie Pierce. The Swampscott Rotary Scholarship, there are 2 recipients, Julia Serino and Brian Strothman. The Swampscott War Memorial Scholarship in memory of Ernest Manchin and Joseph Balsama. There are 2, Caitlin O'Keefe and Thomas O'Keefe. The Swampscott Women's Club Scholarship, Claudia Mazariegos. The Swampscott Yacht Club, the Lucky Williams Memorial Scholarship, Morgan McBurney. The Beach Club, Friends of Phillips Beach Scholarship. There are 2 recipients, Sydney Faulkner and Spencer Perkins. The Thomas H. McManus Memorial Scholarship. There are 3 recipients, Victoria Ashe, Grace Pedes, and Emily Sheard. The Tony and Susan Benevento Memorial Scholarship, Sophie Stern. And the Unitarian Universalist Church of Greater Lynn Scholarship, there are 2 recipients, Ocean Crawley Sweeney and Rita LaPlante. I'd now like to welcome Anna Marston and Brian Strothman to the stage for the class of 2018 dedications.
Hello, everyone. Once again, welcome to the Class of 2018 Commencement Ceremony, and thank you for joining us in celebrating our graduation this morning. I'm extremely honored to be delivering this farewell address today for one of Swampscott High School's most respected teachers, mentors, and leaders. Mr. Bernard Kravitz, if you could please stand. Can be recognized for not only the valuable knowledge and skills he has imparted upon myself and others, but also for his constant ability to make us laugh and take life a bit less seriously. For example, comparing my classmates to their older siblings, or constantly reminding us that pigs have been dissected on the tables we're working on. While it is sad to see one of our most beloved teachers and role models depart, we must celebrate his accomplishments and hard work as he begins his next journey as a wildlife photographer in his retirement. Mr. Kravitz worked for many years as a class advisor, photography club facilitator, science department chair, and educator for many science courses. Not only did he pursue these tasks with great success, but he approached every obstacle with tenacity and open-mindedness. As an educator of mine and many others, Mr. Kravitz will be remembered as an educator who taught his subjects with great passion and a constant ability to make us laugh, especially when we needed it most. On behalf of Swampscott High School and the class of 2018, I wish you good luck and all the best for the rest of your life as you bow out after a memorable experience as a teacher and friend. Thank you.
I'm going to ask Mr. Polacco to stand again, this time not for his stellar wardrobe, but for everything he's done for us. It's difficult to put into words the impact Mr. Polacco has on this school. He doesn't teach any classes, there are no test scores to show what a good job he's done, but he's undoubtedly become one of the most important people at the school. I'm sure just about everyone graduating today, along with many of the other current and former students here, any teachers, parents, and just about anyone who's ever come through those front doors knows what I'm talking about. The mark Mr. Polacco leaves on everyone he interacts with is a lasting one and one of remarkable positivity and kindness. Though our time in high school was often characterized by hard work, long days, and a lack of sleep, every conversation I and many others have with him brightens those long days considerably. He's constantly supporting student initiatives, including the walkout earlier this year, which he compared to the anti-Vietnam protests of his generation. He's a huge supporter of our sports teams, including the tennis team. During this season, players could often be found at his desk talking about tennis and getting advice from him. His commitment and connection to the student body makes it no surprise that at our senior barbecue this year, Mr. Polacco was outside with us, throwing a football around and playing catch with students. He's always been there for students who need help or just need to talk. He is and has for a long time been one of the hardest goodbyes for graduating seniors to make. I, and I'm sure the rest of my class, am always going to cherish the cheerfulness, positivity, and friendship he's brought into our time here. I'm glad we were lucky enough to have him here, and I can say with absolute certainty that he's been a very significant and very positive member of our community, and he'll be missed. Thank you.
Well, it's me again. I'm full of gratitude to be wishing the best of luck today for Miss Brenda Samilian, one of the warmest and kindest figures of Swampscott High School. If she could please stand. Oh, where is she? As she departs for her well-deserved retirement. She has worked in the main office for countless years and has been nothing but hardworking and devoted in her endeavors. Ms. Samilian has worked in the main office for a number of years as a secretary and a coordinator for years' worth of graduation ceremonies, which would not have run smoothly without her help. She pursues all aspects of her job and life without complaint and has been nothing but an inspiration to all of us members of Swampscott High School. While it is very sad to see you go, we wish you nothing but the best in your retirement and for the most rewarding of experiences with your granddaughter, Riley, as she is so lucky to have you as a guiding figure. Your impact upon Swampscott High School has been insurmountable, and our school would not be where it is today without your support, generosity, and hospitality. Thank you.
I invite Amy O'Connor, Chair of the School Committee, to join me along with Superintendent Pamela Angelakis and Assistant Principal Latanya Mackey and Lauren Skelton for the presentation of diplomas. Pam, maybe you can hand it to Amy. Do you want to do that? Because I have to. So you'll hand it to Pam. Pam will hand it out. Just for now. No, Pam will hand it to me. I'll take the second. Valedictorian, Benjamin Ringler. President Max Cooper. Vice President Kendra Fitzgerald. Secretary Caitlin O'Keefe. Treasurer Margot Beaupre. School Committee Representative Tenley Seidel. School Committee Representative Oliver Daniels Coe. Class of 2018 Representative Fatima Sidibe.
I think
I'm not going to be able to cut them in half, but she might be handing them.
Okay, so should I get off?
At the next. Go ahead. Go stand with the July.
Megan Ahern. Livia Alprin. Nicholas Antonuck. Victoria Ashe. Jordan Aconi. Jacqueline Beleza. Joshua Barish. Olivia Barton Meduno. Isaiah Baskin. Emma Benevento. Justin Bennett. Brett Benoit. Margaret Bigler. Dakota Blood. Brendan Bradley. Tony Broadnax. Michael Capone. Noah Carrero. Madison Chambers. Alexei Cherkasev. Anna Silly. Dominic Cottaspati. Angelina Kalela. Anna Conti. Samantha Conti. Samira Correa. Lucas Cody. Jordan Cox. Ocean Crawley Sweeney. Cullen Daly. Nicholas Dariotis. Trevor Donahue. Luana dos Santos. Patrick Doucette. Sydney Faulkner. Christopher Figueredo. Kaylin Fitzgerald. Colin Frary. William Frazier. Michaela Fredo. Ethan Friedman. Emmanuel Fuentes. William Fuller. Amanda Gambale. Alexander Gladstone. Emily Guiney. Joseph Harling. Brian Huang. Jacob Hoffman. Gina Hollenbach. Mia Hopkins. Russell Hopkins. Lexi Howard. Lauren Hussey. Sierra Inzana. Robert Jensen. Daniel Johnson. Nicholas Johnson. Mallory Kessler. Liam Kitt. Hannah Kotz-Olszewski. Rita LaPlante. Joseph Lane. Ashley LeBanc. Troy Levine. Evan Lippman. Sophia Lytle. Laura Long. Riley Lord. Zachary Lowe. Hannah Merklein. Andrew Maldonado. Molly Morocco.
You're just going to read this. You're going to wait for them to pass behind you and be shaking hands before you read the next name.
Pass it. Okay. Should I go?
I'm just going to put Pam's glasses up here.
All right. Reset. All right. Gina Marquis. Luke Marshall. Anna Marston. John Martin. Olivia Martorelli. Samuel Mablum. Claudia Mazariegos. Morgan McBurney. Lauren McCush. Kate McDonough. Jake McIntyre. Michael McLaughlin. Colin McCrae. McKeon Midland. Anthony Machella. Ashley Murray. Madeline Nelson. Erica O'Brien. Liam O'Brien. Thomas O'Keefe. Khalil Palmer. Spencer Perkins. Michaela Phelan. Kylie Pierce. Grace Pedes. Daniel Popovsky. Jack Posca. David Quill. Julia Rapisarda. Tristan Reensterna. Juliana Rhodes. Zachary Richards. Christopher Rodriguez. Olivia Russell. Alexis Russo. John Ryan. Ibrahim Saeed. Yasmin Saeed. Lily Samphy. Stephen Santinello. Julia Serino. Emily Sheard. Alexander Sheehan. Mason Schultz. Samantha Silverman. Michael Smith. Taya Smith. Maxwell Saloni. Olivia Sousa. Sophie Stern. Adam Stockman. Brian Strothman. Good job, Brian. Christopher Sweeney. Precious Sylvester. Dejen Tefera. Lile Tefera. Stephen Tamajian. Advon Torres. Jacob Tucker Figueroa. Quest Tyler Lacey. Anne Vogel. Isabella Vu. George Wales. Colin Walsh. Dean Warren. Rachel Weiss. Matthew Weatherald. Alexandria White. Meredith Walensky. Ksenia Yermakova. Liad Zafrani. Do I call Margot up? Or what?
Do we go that way? I guess we go that way.
Nice job, everybody.
You have to do your little, you have to stand up.
Traffic.
Stand there.
Before I call on the class treasurer to close the ceremony, I attest and confirm to Amy O'Connor, the chair of the school committee, that the students standing before us have met the requirements to be graduates of Swampscott High School.
I accept Vice Principal Kohut's affirmation that these students have met the requirements set down by the school committee and bestow upon them the title of graduate. I now invite Margot Beaupre to close the ceremony. Do I say move the class? Move the tassels from left to right.
It is hard to believe that we're finally here. For some, stepping out of this gym for possibly their last time will be an emotional experience, as most of us will never be together in the same place again. Others are counting down until this speech is over and we can finally officially graduate and they will never look back. To start, I would like to acknowledge the devoted faculty that have immensely helped us all to get to where we are today. Without you all working alongside us through our highest and lowest days, we would not have accomplished nearly as much as we have. Every one of us will remember all of the countless hours you have all spent teaching and shaping us to be the independent, knowledgeable people we are today. There are a select few who stand out, who work to make this day run smoothly. First, I would like to thank the custodial staff for diligently working to get this gym ready for today. I would also like to thank Mrs. Schultz and Mrs. Similian for dedicating their time to organizing and planning this ceremony. This day cannot run without you two, and all of your hard work is greatly appreciated. Continuing, I would also like to thank the chorus and band for their wonderful performances, led by Mr. Pierce and Mr. Roby. Mr. Doulette has also committed his time to filming today's ceremony for our loved ones who cannot be here today. Thank you. Last but not least, I would like to thank the person who has gotten our class as a whole to this moment, our advisor. Ms. Skelton, I truly thank you from the bottom of my heart for every grueling hour you have spent bettering our class. It has been an honor to work alongside you. From planning prom to our talks in your classroom, I could always count on you for everything that I needed. I don't know how we could have gotten to today without you, so thank you. Besides the support we all receive at school, none of us would be standing here today without our loved ones having our backs every step of the way. To all of the mothers, fathers, siblings, grandparents, and many more, you have been there for us at every high and every low. Your unconditional love does not go unnoticed, and even though we forget to say it, thank you so much. Now to my classmates. The time is finally here. This moment right now is the last time we will all be gathered together. After today, we will all go our separate ways. Whether you're off to college, the armed forces, or to a job, never forget your pretty little town on the sea. Looking out, I see potential in every single one of you. I can't wait to hear about all of the big things this amazing group of people will accomplish. Thank you to the class of 2018 for the journey of a lifetime. Now, please remove your tassel. Yeah. And now, it is my pleasure to announce, hats off to the class of 2018.
That might be mine.